House Intelligence Committee ranking member Adam Schiff just having a fit about the Republicans wanting to release and releasing the FISA abuse memorandum.
I think we have crossed a deeply regrettable line in this committee where, for the first time in the 10 years or so that I've been on the committee, there was a vote to politicize the declassification process of intelligence and potentially compromise sources and methods.
Oh, no. But here is Congressman Schiff, who's urging such care. He's the congressman who actually read the discredited Fusion GPS dossier into the congressional record in a hearing on March 20th of last year. Yes, the dossier that was not vetted, that was not verified, and that has been utterly discredited. Quite a partisan Congressman Schiff, isn't he? Well, joining me now, two of my favorite people in Washington, D.C., Victoria Toensing, a former Reagan Justice Department official, former chief counsel of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Joe DiGenova, the former U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia, founding partners of DiGenova and Toensing law firm. Joe, Victoria, thank you both for being here. Let me start out, Victoria, let's start with the memorandum. The president is being very careful here about talking about whether or not he wants to release that memorandum. I'm very proud of the Republicans on that committee for getting it done. Your thoughts?
Well, they're doing it the right way, and well, they should, because Chairman Nunes got in a little bit of trouble when he came out and made an announcement outside of the White House after he saw these I think, the documents that are the basis for this memo. So they're going through the right procedure, and oh, lo and behold, they're insisting that the Democrats go through the right procedure for their report, and the Democrats are shocked. I mean, Adam Schiff, give me a break. He said the Benghazi investigation was the worst investigation and the worst abuse of power ever. Everything is so traumatic. You know, there's a character on Law and Order named Adam Schiff, and I think he's trying out for it.
Okay, Joe, it's great to have you both here, I have to say. And let me start with Paul Ryan. For some reason, today was telling everybody to calm down in the conference about the memorandum. And declared that Rod Rosenstein was doing just a bang-up job as Deputy Attorney General. I about fell out of my chair. Your thoughts?
Well, I think Rod Rosenstein made one of the worst mistakes in the history of Washington law. He appointed Bob Mueller, who never should have been appointed because he's a close personal friend of James Comey and just about everybody else involved in this. But Rod did something worse. He created a mandate for Mueller which had no limitations of time, money, subject matter. He didn't even name a crime that was being investigated, which was a violation of the Department of Justice regulations. I think when all is said and done, Rod Rosenstein's memorandum and the appointment of a special counsel will go down in history as one of the worst decisions ever made by a Justice Department official. There never should have been a special counsel because there was no evidence of any crime.
Hey, Lou, I want to follow up on that because the mandate that Rosenstein approved is just shocking for us lawyers, and that is that Mueller can investigate any link, this is a quote, any link between the Russian government and anyone associated with the Trump campaign. Now, goodness gracious, do you know what? An Iowa farmer who sells corn to Russia and is supportive of Trump could be taken up in that mandate. It is frightening.
And I want to ask you both this. I mean, everyone is acting as if all of this is irreparable. The president thinks about firing Mueller, apparently. But decides against it, and the New York Times has a conniption trying to make thought a sin, and secondarily, everyone, Democrats and Republicans alike, seem to suggest that this is irreparable in any way. This broad, ambiguous mandate for the special counsel. Is that the case?
Well, here's the thing, Lou. We must never lose sight of the fact that the senior level of the FBI and the senior level of the Justice Department during the Obama administration decided to do two things: exonerate Hillary Clinton from her email server scandal, and then, if she didn't get elected, to frame Donald Trump with a non-existent crime. This is one of the worst things in the history of our country. And to think that a special counsel was appointed to investigate the president, who's done absolutely nothing, is a disgrace.
And we have, Victoria, at this point, no evidence whatsoever that's been produced as 5 committees proceed with their investigation. We added it up. This is a couple of weeks now out of date, but we figured it was 6.5 years of investigation of collusion, which no one can define as a crime.
Right. Any guest who comes on Fox should be asked by the host who supports the special counsel should be asked, could you please tell us the 18 U.S.C. number that whatever collusion, even if there was collusion, violates? No one can tell you. And that's what's frightening, because the criminal law is supposed to be very circumscribed. It's supposed to people are supposed to know what it is that violates the law. And you can't say that an Iowa farmer selling corn to Russia is a violation of law.
A sense from both of you as we wrap up here, and I'm sorry we're pressed so much for time, but a sense from both of you as to where do you think this is going to lead? Are we going to see inside the obviously corrupt upper levels of the Justice Department and the FBI, is there going to be resolution here? Your thoughts, Joe?
Yeah. Yes, there's going to be resolution. The memo from the House Intelligence Committee will be the start. Next will come the Inspector General's report from the Department of Justice, which will be devastating because it will show that Andrew McCabe made FBI agents fabricate evidence to exonerate Hillary Clinton. And then there's going to be a federal grand jury to investigate the Obama administration's senior Justice Department officials and the senior members of the FBI. The grand jury will be coming shortly.
Victoria, you get the last word.
One day, the rest of the media will be on board and report this.
Victoria, thanks for being with us. Joe, thanks for being with us. We appreciate all both of you do.